What's up, universe? Elliot from Starforge Systems here. Next to me is one of our Voyager 2 Elite PCs, and I want to talk to you about what's in the system, why it's in there, and what you can expect from its performance. Let's get right into it. The Voyager 2 Elite serves as our flagship system and represents the best that personal computers have to offer. Powered by a full 1000 watt gold-rated PCIe 5.0 PSU from MSI, this system is as big and as bad as it gets. The Core i9-14900K from Intel boasts increased clock speeds and improved memory controller from the 13900K, intended to improve both single-core and multi-core operational performance. Drawing as much power as this does, we rely on the fantastic performance of the LS720 from Deepcool. This 360mm AIO is great for pushing hot air out of the top of our case. As with the rest of the Voyager 2 line, we've selected the O11 Dynamic Evo from Lianli. With front and glass side panels, as well as flexible front I/O and plenty of fan space, this case carries some great features as well as stunning visuals. Speaking of visuals, the Voyager 2 series is our first series of systems to debut with a Starforge plate light. With over 100 LEDs, a large diffusion plate, and easily swappable acrylic inserts, the plate light is a unique and gorgeous addition that elevates the Voyager 2 Elite to the pinnacle of mass-produced systems. In an effort to continually improve the overall feel of our systems, the Voyager 2 Elite, like all systems from Starforge, features sleeved cable extensions from CableMod. It's admittedly a small touch, but something we think is an important detail to which we pay attention. Our internals are based off of the MSI Tomahawk Z790 Wi-Fi motherboard. This motherboard features high connectivity for both peripherals and networking, as well as robust power management to the heart of the system. 2 of its M.2 storage slots are populated stock as a part of our continued effort to improve the value we bring to our clientele. These drive slots hold a KC3000 NVMe SSD from Kingston and a Z44A5 NVMe SSD from Team Group as secondary storage. Both of these PCIe 4.0 drives together add up to a total of 4 terabytes of incredibly fast storage. The full 64 gigabytes of DDR5 6000 megatransfer per second memory that we use to complement our processor and our storage serve to ensure that gaming and editing both feel incredibly snappy and responsive, minimizing latency. As this system sits at the top of our stack, it's only right that we put an NVIDIA RTX 4090 into each of these computers. Its incredible clock speeds, VRAM, and core count make it impressively powerful for gaming and production workloads alike. To keep such a potent array of components cool, we employ a suite of 6 FC120 RGB fans from Deepcool. These serve as a beautiful but effective way of moving air throughout the internals of the PC. Now for some game tests. Check out the description below for our testing methodology, and remember that all tests are run on standardized systems, so you know exactly what to expect.
Beginning with Forza Horizon 5, at 1080p we saw the in-game benchmark render 241 frames per second on the GPU, with finished frames coming in at 209 FPS average, a relevant improvement from last generation. Turning on DLSS and frame generation, something we didn't do with the last iteration of the Voyager series, the system saturated the monitor with a full 304 FPS, while the GPU rendered only about 2/3 of that, 205 frames per second average. At 1440p we saw improvement here as well. It looks to likely be resultant from game optimization, as performance here was about 217 GPU rendered frames per second, with final performance sitting at 191 FPS. .4K testing resulted in 167 frames per second average, with actual output sitting at about 154 FPS average. As resolution increases and load is lighter on the GPU, we'll see less generational improvements between processors. Assassin's Creed Valhalla is next. At 1080p, the game runs at 201 FPS average. At ultra settings, this performance is smooth and just what we expect from a flagship PC. At 1440p, we're still seeing strong results, 172 FPS average with lows that still sit above 60 FPS. And finally, at 4K, the game runs at 113 FPS average. Lows are still never below 60 FPS, so most 4K monitors will always be completely saturated. Following up with Far Cry 6, we see another significant uplift in performance at 1080p. At 173 FPS average, even if the difference is hard to see, there's still a relevant increase in performance here. At 1440p, results are slightly improved here as well. What was previously a slight CPU bottleneck has been improved by optimization in a new processor in our Voyager series. 169 FPS. At 4K, the performance here is now mostly dictated by the GPU, and we saw 133 FPS average. With the HD texture packs enabled and settings set to ultra high, there isn't much more we can ask of this game. Moving on to Modern Warfare 2, 1080p performance saw 235 FPS average with settings all the way up to extreme. 5% lows sat at 189 FPS average and 1% lows were at 164 FPS average. Fourteen 1440p sees similarly high frame rates, 196 FPS average with 5% lows at 145 FPS and 1% lows at 123 FPS. .4K performance is straightforward and keeps lows high. 134 FPS average throughout our testing with 5% lows at 98 FPS and 1% lows at 72 FPS. DLSS features a significant uplift across the board. 4K performance is about even to our 1440p native tests, 206 FPS average with 5% lows at 168 FPS and 1% lows at 147 FPS. Wrapping up with Rainbow Six Siege, we've swapped over from running the game on Vulkan to have more reliable and relevant tests. At 1080p, frame rates were still ridiculously high at 556 FPS average. At 1440p, 517 FPS average is more than enough to saturate every monitor on the planet using the HD texture pack and ultra high settings. Finally, at 4K, Rainbow Six Siege ran at 395 FPS average. Falling just short of 400, 4K performance in this game is still quite good.
That just about does it for the Voyager 2 Elite. As technology improves, so too does Starforge Systems, and with incredible performance, a massive amount of storage, and exquisite craftsmanship, this PC is without compare. For yours, check out starforgesystems.com and be sure to swing by our Twitch channels over at twitch.tv/starforgesystems. Like, comment, and subscribe for more PC content. Thanks for watching, and I'll see you in the Forge.